Hi, everyone. So, whoever's reading this is, I am under the impression that you have done a lot of healing work. And I've been getting visions of keys a lot lately. So, it's giving me the impression that perhaps you are holding the key to your spiritual gifts, but maybe you just don't know where that key fits or how to use it. So, I feel like I want to do a spread for what you don't see to perhaps help us gain a little more knowledge on what your spiritual gifts are and how you can use them. So I do want to roll a zodiac dice here, and this is not because this is your zodiac sign. I want to get the energy of the specific zodiac sign to try to get more of a clue of what we're going to read here. Because everyone has all of the signs in their birth chart in one of their houses. So whatever sign it is for you. So we have Taurus, and Taurus is a very productive type of energy. Taurus is someone who works hard, has a lot of resources. They maintain those resources because they're very practical. They understand the value of things and they know how to direct the value of things. So it's interesting that we're starting with this Taurus energy. So this could be about our work and our resources, which is really what we're talking about here, is using your spiritual gifts in perhaps a practical way so you can help other people. But I do want to draw one of these Sacred Destiny Oracle cards to see if we can figure out something else about your destiny. So we have forgiveness. So there may be a need for you to forgive someone else. There may be a need for you to forgive yourself. Or perhaps this is the healing work that you have been doing, that you have forgiven others, you have forgiven yourself, which is why perhaps you're manifesting some of these spiritual gifts now. But with this moon coming in here, it's also giving me this idea that you're manifesting forgiveness. You're manifesting forgiveness for yourself and others, that you've been working really hard on just that, and probably in a practical way because it's coming in here with Taurus. Also, with the moon showing very distinctly in this forgiveness card, the moon will be full in Leo tomorrow, and I plan on doing a full moon in Leo reading for tomorrow, but that may be what you're manifesting with this full moon, that with the culmination of this full moon in Leo, that may be what you needed to push, that final push that you needed in order to forgive yourself of some kind of a situation. So, and underneath the deck, we have love. So this could be just about loving yourself, and which could be the key to unlocking everything, is love for yourself, forgiveness for yourself. But let's keep going, see what the cards want to tell us, and maybe we can find out what it is that maybe you're just not seeing that will be the key to unlocking your real gifts. So there's the Ace of Cups. That's that self-love we were just talking about. Five of Swords. Nine of Wands. Queen of Cups. Underneath, Nine of Swords. Three of Pentacles. The Magician. The Hierophant. The Hermit. And underneath everything is the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles, again, is a very Taurus type of energy, where it's this idea that you have a lot of stability, you have a lot of resources, you even know your self-worth with the Four of Pentacles, and that you are worthy of all of the things that you are manifesting, all of it. And so that may be part of what you don't see, is that you are worthy of everything that you are manifesting, and to make sure that you understand that. Because what I do see here with the Ace of Cups is falling in your challenge position, which reminds me that perhaps you don't have quite the full heart chakra self-love that you could. So there may be a need for you to really kind of focus on your self-love at this time. That may be one of the things that you don't see. Although I can tell by this spread that this is going to be a layered, almost a complicated read, but we will get there. But it starts with you forgiving yourself and loving yourself, because without those two things, it's almost impossible to manifest all the things we really want. And unlocking our spiritual gifts. We need those two things, self-love and self-forgiveness. So there may be a need here to enable some boundaries. I'm getting that because I'm also seeing the Five of Wands here. But let's get through this reading and see what else we can find. So it looks like whatever it is that you need to forgive about yourself or perhaps someone else, it has to do with tricks of the mind. So it could be that you are in mind games, involved in mind games with another person, or someone who really used a lot of mean-spirited and cruel tactics towards you. So I think that whatever those mind games were, I think what has happened is it has made you a more creative thinker, in the sense that whatever these mind games were, you had to navigate your way through them. And as you were doing that, you got more and more clever as time went by. So that is for someone. And so I feel like also, I don't know why I just got this, but there's a message to write. So if you were thinking about writing, if you were thinking about journaling, if you were thinking about writing a memoir about these experiences with these mind games, that's your confirmation. But for everyone, it's a really good time to journal. So just take note of that, pun intended. If you are a writer or were interested in starting a journal, that's your message. Regardless, the foundation that this is all setting up on is one where you became much more clever and much more creative because perhaps of the way you were treated in this situation. So there may be a need to forgive someone else, but there's certainly a need to forgive yourself and love yourself. There's no doubt about that. I think that you are coming out of an energy of absolute exhaustion. For many of you, this might have to do with family members, although it doesn't have to. I am getting a strong sense, though, that there is another person involved in this situation, but they are not showing up here. So that tells me that you are really releasing this person, that their energy is really fading into the background. But there is a foundation here of someone who really treated you very poorly, and that you're really getting awakened to that. And as I said, more clever because of it. So they basically made you stronger by the games that they played. But regardless of how strong you became, you're exhausted. So it's like anything. If you're conditioning for a sport, the way to get stronger is sometimes by exhausting yourself. And that's basically by default what has happened here, is you were conditioned so much and so exhausted, and now you are exhausted, or at least you were, and you're releasing that. But it definitely has made you stronger. So you're moving into an energy, though, that I don't necessarily love, because you're moving into this energy of the Nine of Swords, which is a very stressed out energy. It's an energy of you still thinking about this, even though this person may not be in your life anymore, even though you may have enabled those boundaries we were talking about. Maybe you're in the process of enabling those boundaries, but this is someone who stays awake at night, still thinking about this situation, and perhaps even wondering if there was something else they could have done. And so I think that part of the message here is understanding that you could not have done anything differently. You can only control what you can do. You cannot control what the other person does, how the other person grows, how the other person's level of self-awareness. You can't control any of that. So I think that is part of what we'll talk about today, is really learning to release yourself from the responsibility that you did everything you could. The Nine of Wands here is telling me that you did everything you could, and you just went to the point of exhaustion, which is why you released it. It was like you had no other choice but to release it. You see yourself as a collaborator with this Three of Pentacles. So that tells me that you know how much you put into this situation. You know that you were the one putting in all of the effort, that you were the one putting in probably the loving care. You were the one being in the supportive role. You were the one who was growing in the situation. But this other person was so just concerned with mind games and perhaps control so you just weren't an energetic match. This person came in looking at a relationship one way, and you came in looking at it as more of a collaborative effort. They came in thinking it more of a competition, and someone has to win. And dynamics like that are just never going to work because collaborators and competitors are virtually opposites, right? So, but I am seeing here that what you don't see is that you are the magician right now in this energy. And I can see this confirmation because we can see with this person manifesting with the moon here, these two energies are giving me the exact same message that you are manifesting at a rapid rate right now. And I think you don't even see that. And so that's going to be, I think, the key message from this reading is your manifestations are coming in hot and you don't even know it. Your manifestations are coming in the form of a person. This is a person that you do not know yet because you don't even know these manifestations are coming in. But I think this is a person, the person you're manifesting is showing up as a Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is a highly intuitive person. And sometimes she's my healer. So depending on what it is that you're manifesting and why, and my clock just said 11:11 as I said that, depending on the reason that you're manifesting this person, this could be someone who's coming in to help you heal on an energetic level. This could be a higher commitment with someone. This could be the partnership and the union and the completion that you have been looking for, but by releasing this old energy that exhausted you, you are now manifesting in someone who is going to really help to heal you and is really going to be that collaborator that you were looking for, not the competitor that you were getting. So the outcome here I like, I'm going to skip ahead because your outcome here is the Hermit. And I think that this is what you need to do first in order to allow your manifestations to come in. You need to really get grounded, and because you were so exhausted, you were absolutely exhausted. With the Nine of Swords, you're completely stressed out. So you need to get into this Hermit energy to ground your energies because you are probably a highly empathic person, highly sensitive. I'm getting a message too here for you to connect with nature. That will probably help you. And I just saw 12:34 on my clock as I said that. So there's probably a need for you to connect with nature, or at a minimum, just kind of hibernate a little bit with your pets if you have them. Just have that connection with nature in some way. And I think it's really going to help ground all this stressed out energy. Because I think that what you're really looking for here, I think you just feel like you want a collaborator. With the Hierophant here, I'm feeling like you want someone to work with. You want someone to make a higher commitment with. To this Hierophant card is almost giving me like a rite of passage or a crossing the threshold type of energy, that you really just want to cross this threshold with someone, but you realize that all the people in your past or this person in your past just exhausted you because what you were trying to do and create with that person got absolutely nowhere. So I think those are like the strongest energies coming off of here. And so the advice, and I'm going to pull a few more cards to help us get some more advice, but there is a real need for you to forgive yourself and love yourself. This situation is gone. This situation you could not have done any differently. You exhausted yourself. That's how you know that you did everything you could. So the advice so far is to go into this Hermit energy, connect with nature if you can, because your manifestations of this person who really wants to have some kind of a higher level union with you, you are manifesting that person in. There is no question about that. But this extra push of forgiveness and self-love is really what's needed right now. But let's see if we can get a little bit more from the tarot. So we have Six of Wands, love that. The Hanged Man makes sense. Three of Swords also makes sense. And the Fool, I love it. So look at this. Look, bottom of both decks, Four of Pentacles. If that is not confirmation, I don't know what is. You are worthy. The Four of Pentacles is your own self-value and stability. You are worthy of everything that is coming in for you. So this is just a reminder. Don't forget that. This Green Aventurine too is all about your heart chakra, which this Ace of Cups is too. This is about self-love, loving yourself, and understanding what you are worthy of. I like seeing the Six of Wands here because this is you. You already know. You have this knowingness about you, which I think is why your manifestations are already starting to come in. But you know that there is going to be some reward for your effort here. You just have that level of faith in the situation where you know something good is coming in for you. That whatever this was that broke you, or you feel like shattered you, or broke your heart with the Three of Swords, you know you're going to overcome that. It's like you just kind of know deep down that that's your destiny. But you are, again, similar to the Hermit, you're being asked to focus on just putting yourself in a time out right now so you can get the information that you need, that the universe is going to show you which way to go, because I do see the Fool here, which I also love, but the universe is going to show you which way to jump, but not until you get quiet and get grounded, because you're headed straight into this stressed out energy, which we don't want you to have to do. So in order to avoid that stressed out energy, it's very important that you hibernate, as I said, if you can. Spend time alone with your own thoughts, that you cannot be interrupted by other people and other people's thoughts. If you have kyanite, the stone kyanite, it would be great to work with that, but it's not necessary. But it does help when you're trying to look at things from a different perspective. But of course, your challenge is this Three of Swords. And this is the heartbreak, the exhaustion, the stress that you are really kind of all encompassed in at the moment. And so I think this is really about understanding what it is that you're longing for. If you're still longing for this person who exhausted you, try to figure out why that is and what it is that you value, and that perhaps it's your own self and your own self-value and your own inner child that you're longing for, and that this Three of Swords heartbreak could be misplaced and you don't even know that it is misplaced, which is exactly why the Hermit and the Hanged Man are so important right now, for you to really tune out the ideas of other people, old limiting beliefs of your own, so that the universe can really help you to see it in a different way, so that you can then take this leap and then be able to get all of your manifestations that you've been working on. This is really going to crack you open, I think. The Hanged Man and the Hermit energy are just going to crack you open so that you don't even think about it when you take the leap. You're not even going to think about it. You're just going to feel like it's just happening to you. You're not going to resist it at all. So there's just a little bit of work left to do with forgiving yourself, healing your heart, going into hermit mode, hanging out with your cats or dogs or whatever you have, or being outside if you can. And the Hanged Man, just getting a different perspective on things. Wow. So let's get a few big picture oracle cards. I think those are helpful. See if there's any energy we still missed. So you have the Mountain, the key. The key. This is what I keep seeing. I keep seeing a key, that you have the key. You just don't know like where the lock is or how to use it. And then we have the bed. Okay, so this is, and there's the fox. See, the fox was hiding under there the whole time. This is that person that has exhausted you, but they didn't show up in the main spread, I think because you've mostly released them, but they're still hanging around here, which is why you're headed towards that stressed out energy, which is why there's still a need perhaps to forgive this person so that you can just officially release them from your energy. But here's that key. So the Mountain came first, which means there's an obstacle here, which is what I was saying, that you have the key, but you're blocked from using it. You don't know where to use it. You don't know how to use it. And the bed is here to reinforce this idea of you hibernating. Go to bed, meditate, stay at home. Don't listen to the opinions of others, so you can get very, very clear on the ideas that are trying to come through from your higher self. And perhaps even your inner child may be trying to have some kind of a message come through here too, because with the Three of Swords, we were saying, what is it that you're even longing for? Ask your inner child. And your inner child lives in your heart chakra. So if you really tune into your heart portal and start talking to your inner child, you will be amazed at the answers that you will get. So, but speaking of chakras, let's get a final chakra card to see how your auric field is, because that is what I do. Reiki is what I do. And this is great. We pulled heart healing. So your heart chakra is actually in beautiful shape, and it is clear and it is flowing and it is letting in enough light. So I'm not even worried about your chakras right now. So that's the key to this right now, is for you to go meditate, go hang out with your pets, go hang out in nature, talk to your inner child, and the answers on how to use this key will come. And then your manifestations are going to start flying in. This is clear. We have a moon here. We have a full moon in Leo tomorrow. We have the Magician here, and you're manifesting this Queen of Cups. It's all coming in for you. You just have to get quiet and listen to how. Let them tell you how. So just listen. So please let me know how this was resonant for you, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.